Hey and welcome to the Daily Manchester United News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Eric Tanhaag finally has an ideal box-to-box midfielder in Marcel Sabitzer. Manchester United had a relatively quiet winter transfer window compared to their Premier League rivals, but they did make some quality signings to reinforce the squad. The arrivals of Wout Weghorst and Marcel Sabitzer should boost the club's prospect of qualifying for the Champions League while also ending their 6-year trophy drought. Weghorst has already had 5 games in the United shirt, and the fans will now be eagerly awaiting Sabitzer to make his debut after his deadline day loan move. United initially had no plans of bolstering their midfield department last month, but their hands were forced after the long-term ankle injury sustained by Christian Eriksen. Hence, they brought in Sabitzer on a temporary deal from Bayern München, and in our opinion, the Austrian could prove to be one of the best signings of the winter transfer window. Sabitzer looked a lost figure at Bayern, where he was barely in the starting lineup over the last 18 months, but it was a completely different story when he was with RB Leipzig. The Austrian led by example at the Bundesliga outfit with his regular goal contributions. While central midfield is his primary role, Sabitzer can also play anywhere in the attack. United have got themselves a terrific multi-dimensional player. In our view, manager Eric Tanhaag finally has an ideal box-to-box midfielder in Sabitzer, who is an upgrade on Christian Eriksen. Eriksen has been fabulous for the Red Devils this campaign, and his creativity and passing accuracy in the final third has been impressive. However, he is not the most efficient defensive-wise. The Dane has been caught napping on a number of occasions this campaign. In Sabitzer, United have a player who tends to win more duels and does not shy away from making strong tackles. Sabitzer averages 3.9 tackles per 90 minutes in the Bundesliga this campaign. The club now have a more robust and physical midfielder who will be determined to prove a point to his new employers. The 20 million euros rated star will be hoping to secure a permanent deal with his displays. How Eric Tanhaag is reshaping the mentality at Manchester United. Eric Tanhaag has led Manchester United to a final at Wembley, where they will bid to win the Carabao Cup. For fans who witnessed the abysmal 21-22 season, this comes not only as a surprise, but also as a blessing. The Dutchman's winning mentality, combined with strict adherence to discipline and eye-catching football, has helped United become a threat. The Red Devils thrashed Nottingham Forest 5-0 over 2 legs in the semi-final of the Carabao Cup. After the game, the manager told the media that being in a final doesn't mean anything unless it's won. He said, "Finals, you play them to win," a statement that perfectly demonstrates his mindset. Tanhaag's ethos has always been simple. His teams either win or don't. The fact that not winning may be an option at United is scoffed at by the manager. In the years before Tanhaag's appointment, the club went through times when only surviving was misconstrued as success. For years under the Glazers' ownership and several managerial reigns, it was only accepted that United would do well if they finished in the top 4 or reached the quarter-finals of tournaments. However, that mentality seems to have been washed away by Tanhaag. Within 6 months of his appointment, he has convinced the players of his project and got rid of those who refused to buy in. He has also been instrumental in driving the club towards proper discipline. The idea that Man United, one of the greatest clubs in the world, can accept mid-table finishes has been eradicated. Tanhaag has taken control of the club's academy, been in control of transfers and profiled his players to suit his style of play. The Dutchman has also led the way and set an example of what he expects from his players. After the 2 defeats at the hands of Brighton and Hove Albion and Brentford respectively, Tanhaag led the way in running 13 kilometers along with his squad. It's integral to Tanhaag's system that he maintains a stranglehold on his team's day-to-day affairs. He understands that it's his leadership that matters, his words that will lead to glory, and he who will have to step up for his players. In many ways, Tanhaag is a reflection of Sir Alex Ferguson, a father figure, a teacher, and above all, a sore loser. Marcus Rashford has more goal contributions than two Arsenal stars combined. Manchester United star Marcus Rashford has had a tremendous season under manager Eric Tanhaag. He recently bagged a couple of assists in the 2-0 win over Nottingham Forest in the second leg of the Carabao Cup semi-final. The England star has now taken his goal contributions to 26 for the campaign. The 25-year-old is on course for his best ever season for United. Statistic-wise, he is currently outperforming two of Arsenal's best wide players. Bukayo Saka has had a fine season for the Gunners, but he has only bagged 8 goals and 7 assists this campaign. Meanwhile, Gabriel Martinelli has chipped in with 7 goals and 3 assists for Arsenal across all competitions. The talented Arsenal duo have a combined 25 goal involvements this term, one less than Rashford. The United graduate is doing plenty of things right to outperform the Gunners pair. Eric Tanhaag has already described him as unstoppable, and he will hopefully continue his fine run in the coming weeks as the club look to ensure qualification for the Champions League alongside winning silverware. United have gone nearly 6 years without any trophies, but they have a brilliant opportunity to end the unwanted drought when they face Newcastle United in the Carabao Cup final at Wembley Stadium on February 26. Rashford's current deal expires at the end of next season, and it seems a no-brainer for United's hierarchy to commit him to a long-term contract. The club cannot afford to lose a star in the prime of his playing career. With Paris Saint-Germain and Real Madrid keeping tabs, United may have to make Rashford the highest earner at the club to convince him to prolong his stay beyond the summer of 2024. Manchester United have an easy decision over Mason Greenwood right now. All charges have been dropped against Manchester United footballer Mason Greenwood. The Crown Prosecution Service confirmed via Sky News that Greenwood will not stand trial. So what next? After a pause to take in the news, Manchester United released a statement confirming that the club are not rushing into any decisions. It read, Manchester United notes the decision of the Crown Prosecution Service that all charges against Mason Greenwood have been dropped. The club will now conduct its own process before determining next steps. We will not make any further comment until that process is complete. There are various ways to look at this news. Through a football lens, this is the last distraction Eric Tanhaag's team needs right now. United have been rebuilding after a crisis year, and Eric Tanhaag has, seemingly, finally put United on the path to success again, amid a crucial month with Europa League matches against Barcelona and a Carabao Cup final. The Mason Greenwood situation risks becoming a serious distraction. Greenwood has not played football for 12 months, or even trained. He will be no help to the club on the pitch, even if his return was approved by club executives. United need to keep Mason Greenwood away from the club right now, with no decision taken until the season is over. This is a time for reflection. This appears to be the path United are taking. BBC Sports' Simon Stone reports United are evaluating and carrying out their own investigation, commenting, no time scale on the process. Mason Greenwood will not play or train until this is complete. Cleared of all charges in the eyes of the law, Greenwood still faces the trial of public opinion. Manchester United fans adore the academy kid, come good, when he rose through the ranks. Now his reputation will never recover fully, rightly or wrongly. Questions too over his on-pitch ability. Once regarded as a special talent, this cannot be taken for granted any longer. Is he worth the hassle of keeping around? How will 1 year away from the game affect him? If he were to play, could the 21-year-old be caught mentally and deal with reactions from supporters home and away? However, his remarkable achievements before his arrest could make United think twice about kicking him out for good and prompt the club to give him a second chance. The fear on United's part would be that he pitches up at a rival club. If United do want to cancel his contract, there could be a legal challenge from Greenwood, and if the club wants to play him, there could be a huge outcry and not just from supporters, sponsors and women's groups could take a dim view of United reintroducing Greenwood, it could become a PR nightmare for the club and a headache for new owners to have to take on. But this is clearly not a situation United can allow to play out mid-season, threatening the good work of Eric Tanhaag and his players. Right now, there is an easy decision to keep Greenwood suspended and ensure any reintegration or release takes place in the summer. Juventus consider terminating Paul Pogba contract as nightmare return continues. Manchester United released Paul Pogba in the summer 6 years after he returned to Old Trafford, considering the club record £89 million spent on him in 2016. Pogba's return was largely underwhelming. Pogba re-signed with former club Juventus, and it has not gone at all well. The midfielder has not played a single match for the club, suffering an injury in pre-season and has suffered subsequent setbacks. He even failed to make France's World Cup squad, and back in Italy, frustration is growing. Last weekend, Pogba did make Juventus bench against Monza, a match in which the Italian giants suffered a humiliating 2-0 defeat. He was an unused substitute, and then ahead of a potential debut in the Coppa Italia, manager Massimiliano Allegri explained via the Mail that Pogba would be unavailable after suffering a setback. Now, the Mail reports Juventus are considering terminating Pogba's contract or attempting to sell him to a club in the US in the summer. The situation is humiliating for Pogba. Speaking after his release last summer, in his Amazon documentary, he vowed to prove Manchester United wrong. He said, "My thought process is to show Manchester United that they made a mistake in waiting to give me a contract." Pogba had rejected a contract offer from United. At this stage, we can only be thankful he chose to do so. Injuries were part of the problem for Pogba during his time at the club. He played 30 or more Premier League games in just only 1 out of 6 seasons. The final memory of his time at United was him lamping off 10 minutes into a defeat against Liverpool, and his final seasons became marked by regular jaunts to Dubai for recovery rather than recuperating at Carrington. Now, he is Juventus' problem to deal with, one fewer headache for Manchester United. There could yet be a plot twist if United draw Juventus later on in the season in the Europa League, but the chances of Pogba being fit for such a game remain slim. Inter Milan defender Alessandro Bastoni attracting interest from Manchester United amidst contract talks. Manchester United are interested in Inter Milan star Alessandro Bastoni, whose current contract expires in the summer of 2024, according to Sport Mediaset. The Nerazzurri have already opened talks with the centre-back over extending his stay with the Serie A giants. They are keen on securing the defender's future at Stadio Giuseppe Meazza. Inter have offered the 23-year-old a €4.5 million deal until the summer of 2027. The Italy international wishes to stay with the Nerazzurri as well. However, several clubs from the Premier League are eyeing Bastoni. Apart from the Red Devils, Manchester City and Chelsea are also looking to acquire the centre-back services. The English top-flight teams could offer the 23-year-old €6 million per season. It remains to be seen whether any of the sides are able to entice the Italy international to England. Bastoni has been on the Serie A giants' books since the summer of 2017. After a few campaigns out on loan, the defender established himself in the Stadio Giuseppe Meazza side's starting lineup. Over the years, the 23-year-old has been a key player for Inter. In the current campaign, the centre-back has made 23 appearances in all competitions for Simeone Inzaghi's team, providing 5 assists. Maguire and Lindelof have found game time hard to come by this season. It would not come as a surprise if they decided to leave next summer. Therefore, having someone like Bastoni on our radar to bolster the defense is a good option to have. Manchester United and Arsenal keeping tabs on Juventus striker Dorosan Vlahovich. Manchester United and their Premier League rivals Arsenal are keeping tabs on Juventus star Dorosan Vlahovich ahead of the upcoming transfer window, according to Italian journalist Rudy Galetti. The Red Devils will closely follow the 23-year-old performances over the coming months. Next summer, Eric Tanhaag is keen on bolstering the front line with a new number 9, As a result, the Old Trafford side are monitoring several high-profile targets. While Victor Osimhen and Harry Kane are on United's shortlist, they would cost a considerable amount. However, the striker currently with the Bianconeri could be a cheaper alternative. Juventus would possibly consider parting ways with Vlahovich for €80 million next summer. The Serbia international only made his way to Turin in January 2022. However, the Serie A giants are currently embroiled in a transfer scandal and were consequently penalized with a 15-point deduction in the league. With the Champions League qualification looking difficult, the Italian outfit could be forced to cash in on their star to recoup their losses. The 23-year-old has blown hot and cold for Juventus since his move from Fiorentina. In 16 appearances in all competitions for the Old Lady in the current campaign, the forward has scored 7 goals and has provided 2 assists. Our options up front are nothing to write home about. Anthony Martial and Wout Weghorst are our 2 number 9s. However, the Holland international is on loan at the Old Trafford side until the end of the season. Therefore, we evidently need to add more quality to the attack. However, will the Red Devils opt to sign Vlahovic in the coming transfer window? Only time will tell. I will be uploading daily Manchester United news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.